Welcome. What's good?
Welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Say Like a Champ, episode 79. Coming at you. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy in the building. What's good, everybody?
Oh, man. Back again.
I know. Hope you're all having a great week.
Yeah, I hope everybody's doing well out there. We're glad that you're rocking in with us, tuning in with us. And don't be afraid, like we always say, hit the, make your comments and stuff, engage with us. We love to interact with the people watching the show live. Helps us get even more opinions on what's been going on in the world of sports. But yeah,
like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you could do us an awesome favor for listening, hit that share button. Send it out to your friends, family, coworkers, all that fun stuff. Trying to get the name out. So if y'all can do us that great favor, we greatly appreciate it. Y'all know we do.
For sure. Yeah, and especially if you know somebody that likes sports. You may not be into sports, but you may know a sports buff. You might be a sports buff in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So share that out.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's go ahead and get up in this intro real quick. And my sister checking in. Me and the boys say hi. What's up?
Hey, what's up, nephews?
I haven't had a chance to see them in a little bit, so I'm hoping to see them real soon. But I got something for them for sure.
Oh yeah, got to. I mean, if you would have came home empty-handed,
you know what I'm saying. But let's go ahead and get this intro popping.
Let's get it.
All right. Still got the best intro in the game, even though
hands down
the remix is coming soon. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna level up one more time.
You know what I'm saying? One more time for the one time. I got it.
Yeah. Mom's in the building as well.
Hey.
What's up? Appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
Yes. Love my family so much. They always give me so much support. I appreciate y'all tremendously. But yeah, so let's check in real quick though. How are you doing? What's good with you?
I'm good, man. I'll save that for a final say.
Okay.
But doing good, man. Started a new job last Monday. Working on Charles Schwab now, so that's really, really dope. So far, so good. Got 7 weeks of training ahead of me, so just trying to not fall asleep. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But
I'm sure you got your notepad. I'm sure you're all over it.
Oh, most definitely. I got to take those notes. It's definitely something that I've never done before. Working in finances, financial security and stuff like that. So really, really cool. Learning a ton because we've been doing pharmacy and medical field for pretty much our whole working lives. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's
definitely different, but it's kind of refreshing. You know what I mean? But as we always say, man, the end goal is to get this podcast popping off. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm ready for it, man. How about you, man? How was Florida, dude?
Florida was dope. Yeah, I got some vacation time, and it was just like incredible.
Yeah,
and it was funny because it was like revitalizing in a different way, man. Because it just motivated me even more to be like, I need to be doing what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I need to be doing what I really want to do, and
this got to be the norm.
Yeah, exactly. So it was good though. It was a really good week, and I'm happy to be back with my Slac family, of course, too, because we do this every week. Episode 80 coming next week, episode 100 right around the corner. I mean, I really do love what we've been doing with this, being consistent week in and week out. So we're going to be here with that. So,
hey man, I look forward to nothing more than Tuesday nights at 6:00 with y'all, man. So I completely agree with you. It's been a extremely fun ride. It don't feel like work, and just gotta keep pushing, keep moving, and it'll grow the way we want it to. So
absolutely,
keep grinding, keep rocking with us.
Yes. And with that, let's go ahead and get into our first topic. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL Talk.
Let's get it.
All right. NFL Talk. We're in the off season.
Yep.
Not a lot of crazy things going on, but lately a lot of the buzz has been surrounding Russell Wilson and his situation in Seattle. And then also, the March 9th deadline coming up for Dak Prescott, the Cowboys have until then to franchise tag him again if that's the route they're going to do.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing and I've been seeing a lot about this potential Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson swap. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that makes sense?
No, not really. I mean, like it really doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, because essentially, like, yes, Russell Wilson has the Super Bowl. He's been there twice. You know, he's won one, lost one. And yes, we know what he's been proven to do. But when you look at it from like a skill set in a sense, like it's not that much more than what we've seen Dak do too. You know what I mean? So like to me, like a straight up trade just doesn't make much sense to me. And like I mean, like I said before, like I'll be surprised personally if they franchise Dak. I think he might be on his way out. If they franchise him, if they do franchise him again, I could really see him sitting out the rest of the year, looking for
or leaving after next year at the very least.
Right? Exactly. So, but I feel like basically to answer your question, I'd say no. I just don't see it. Russell is still currently under a really big contract. He signed that contract 2 years ago, I think it was something like that. So,
but it's at like 35.
Right. So it's not at like the 38 million they probably have to pay Dak, right? Because they waited for Mahomes to get that contract. I feel like Dak's price goes up. You know what I mean? So I don't think JJ's handled the situation very well in regards to Dak. And starting over is not the route to go because right now, in my opinion, at least the offense is built to win right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, for Anthony Weston, he says for the Cowboys, the swap kind of makes sense because Russell is on that lower contract. And I agree with what he's saying from that standpoint. But to me, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I don't think it really makes sense. Like you said, from a skill standpoint, I mean, you're getting a shorter, older version of what they kind of already have, but
exactly.
one with the Super Bowl ring, like you said. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, to add a little bit more context, Russell Wilson's agent basically came out and said he has not requested trade, but if he were to be traded, there was 4 locations, that being Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Chicago Bears, that he would actually accept the trade to. So we'll see. I still think it's crazy for either of these players to move. I think they're both where they need to be. But I'm just wondering if that situation in Seattle is really that sour, or how it could sour that quickly, after everything.
Right. Exactly. And that's the crazy part about it too, is like the situation in Seattle is, I mean, it's always been a good one. What we talk about with both Dak and Russell Wilson, they both say the exact same things. They don't make mistakes. They're never in the media for anything negative. You know what I mean? And I feel like unless the trade talks cause something sour, because it never came from him, as he said. Like, I never asked for a trade, but you know what I mean? Like, it would be kind of crazy to see him move, because I feel like Seattle is not really in a position to start over either. You know what I mean? Like, get the line better, draft some pieces at defense maybe. He still has 2 very good wide receivers, you know what I mean? And DK Metcalf and I can't remember. I'm forgetting the slot receiver name at the moment, but he still has some pretty good weapons. Yeah, Lockett. Yeah, Tyler Lockett, and then with Chris Carson, as long as he's healthy, he's one of the top running backs in the league every year for the last 2 seasons. So, so it's like moving on from Russell just doesn't really make too much sense to me.
Especially when Russell Wilson's been kind of keeping you afloat with those other struggles.
Really, exactly.
When the defense was getting better when they got Adams, but then when he got hurt, the defense was bad again.
Exactly.
Offensive line struggled, kind of like Anthony Weston said. And thank you for being on the show, by the way, Anthony. We appreciate you. Yeah, because he said, Seahawks make 0 sense. Offensive line, Dak will be in the same struggle, and I kind of agree with that. It's like Russell Wilson has kind of held them up, but if they can get healthy and kind of get their things back together, they should want him there to lead that team.
Right. So, and that's the crazy part about it too, is because of the ground game that Seattle's had over the last couple of years, Russell Wilson doesn't really throw for 330 a game. You know what I mean? He only really throws for 230 a game, maybe.
And that was the whole thing. Let Russ cook. Everybody's like, oh, let him do his thing. Let him rock.
Exactly. But just like Dak, he doesn't make mistakes. So he had that little slew of interceptions he went through, last season. But for the most part, Russell Wilson doesn't make mistakes, and neither does Dak. So like I said, I just feel like their skill sets. It's why make the swap? I unless they're just going for the bigger name in a sense. That's literally the only reason I could think of it. But Dak's, like you said, the younger, a little bit taller version of Russell Wilson. So why, I don't know, why swap doesn't make sense unless you're going to get a little bit more for it.
Right. Yeah, so we'll see. That's an interesting situation. Obviously, we're monitoring that closely. It's big impacts in the league. But of those other teams besides Dallas that Russell Wilson was talking about, the Saints would be nasty. I know with the Panthers that would be tough, but the Saints would be nasty. And Anthony Weston, yeah, he says the same thing. New Orleans is the best fit.
It's definitely the best fit.
I think that would be dope. But the Bears, that'd be kind of cool too, because their defense gets them going every time. And, their offense actually has some weapons. Allen Robinson, I don't know how he does so well with never having a quarterback.
I know.
So we'll see what happens if he does move. But the Saints, that would be pretty tough.
Dude, so the Panthers have actually been freeing up a lot of cap space because I guess they're really trying to make a push for Deshaun Watson. So, like, how crazy would it be, though, man, if we had Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady, and I mean, pretty soon in the next year, so I'm pretty sure Matty Ice isn't going to be there for much longer. But that, from a quarterback standpoint, the NFC South would be insane.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, and it is interesting what the Panthers are trying to do. The other thing is too, apparently the San Francisco 49ers are expressing interest in Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if you heard that going out there.
Yeah, I did see that too.
I kind of like that. I know you're not. I know you're over Teddy B, but the 49ers are so well coached. They have a good running game. They have a good defense. Yeah. They could, probably do well, but he'd be similar to what Jimmy G is now. I don't know.
Exactly right.
I guess it's just a little bit more reliable, though.
First, no, 100%. 100%. I completely agree. I think from a skill standpoint, like, I feel like Jimmy G's the exact same way. He's very much a, game manager type quarterback. So I feel like they'd be giving basically the same thing. But, Teddy isn't as injury prone. He's had the big leg injury, but since then he's been sturdy. So, that's like my only thing with Teddy B is just, as a game manager, like, I feel like we left so many games out on the table that I think we really could have won last year if he wasn't so much of a game manager. I could really go out and go get it.
The squad was banged up. He was banged up at times. Like, I mean, I know you're harder on your team because you're a Panthers fan, but I thought the Panthers had a decent season for considering what they kind of went through.
Dude, our
especially
offense,
but I'm just saying.
CMC, no, I'm agreeing with you. Like, I'm actually agreeing with you. Like, our offense was so, like, that's the thing that kind of killed me too. Like, when we finally moved away from Cam, the reason it bothered me is because Cam had been so productive over these years with nobody. Like,
weapons.
You know what I mean? And it's like we finally have, like, all of our weapons are phenomenal. Like, Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion, still is the best running back in the league. And even with missing almost the entire season last year, he's still, over the last couple of years, averages more total yards than every other running back. And it's not even really close. Dalvin Cook was second, and it's still like 20-something more yards than what even Dalvin Cook produces. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Christian McCaffrey is, in my opinion, in a league of his own right now. But it's like Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore has been in top 5 receivers over the last 2 seasons. Last year, he was, I think, number 2 behind DK Metcalf in yards per catch, like 18 yards a catch, something like that. And I was with, Teddy B being real,
throwing short.
Exactly, throwing short and just letting DJ do what he does.
Right.
Exactly, not taking chances. So it just kind of sucked because, like, it was like, damn, dude, like, Christian McCaffrey makes our offense just that much better. You know what I mean? And it's like we didn't really have him. The offensive line was really kind of like Dallas. We were really banged up with the offensive line last year too, having to make adjustments, moving left tackle to the right tackle side and all that other stuff. So, like, I would love to see what we can do healthy, obviously. But if I got to choose between, Deshaun Watson and, Teddy B, like, it's Deshaun all day. You know what I mean? But right. So, and then defense came along. Defense came alive at the end of the year too. Jeremy Chin as a rookie looked great. So I honestly, like, the offense looked phenomenal. Like, I love where we're going, and I'm loving where, like, the defense is going too as we start to pick up. But
I think it's the Matt Rule effect, dog. I think the Matt Rule tenure is well underway, man. I think he's doing a great job pulling together.
I think so too.
He's part of that. He has to be.
Yeah, he is, dude. I like I said, at the beginning of the year, I was really skeptical. But he starts off rough and then just gradually gets better, and that's exactly what we did. Like even the games we were losing, it was just like, but the offense still looks good,
You can
man.
see the progress. Yeah.
Yeah, like the offense hasn't looked this good since 2015. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we just couldn't finish some of those games. So,
and me over here, I'm like, first year head coach Mike McCarthy for my Dallas Cowboys, America's team. It's like not that same feeling of like, okay, you can see where it's going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you at least have that to be happy about. But
right. I'm excited. That's why we get excited for the off season. You know what I mean? But so I'm excited
happens.
for it. Offensive coordinator Joe looked great too. Like we just saw so many things that the offense hasn't seen. The trick plays that we actually did. Like I can't remember the last time I saw us run a trick play. You know what I mean? Ron Rivera, he goes for it a lot on fourth down, but he wasn't a very big.
No,
trick.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's not his style. So
he was the riverboat just because he would go like on 4th and 1, gamble that way, but he would never do anything crazy. He was very traditional. Yeah,
exactly, 100%. So, and the cool thing too was like even like the running game. Mike Davis did very well. He was over 1,000 yards too, even considering Christian McCaffrey wasn't there. So, makes me super happy for when CMC gets back. He looks healthy again. I watch him on social media, stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the growth, man. We look good and we're young, so I'm happy about that as well.
For sure. Couple more bits from the NFL for sure. Got to give props to super producer Marcus. Absolutely. He called it last week. We were talking about JJ Watt. He was like, I think he's going to come here to the Cardinals, or to Arizona, and he was on it. That was announced. What was that? Friday?
Something like that.
Something like that. But anyways, he put it out. I like that he put source me. He just he kind of announced it himself. That was pretty cool. But I mean, I'll go first on this one. I guess I wanted to just have a little discussion of what we thought about him coming here. I think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Arizona is a lovely place. Their defense is pretty solid, so he can definitely help with Chandler Jones being on the other side of Chandler Jones.
Definitely.
But it's like when he was saying he wants to go to a contender and then he came to the Cardinals, I'm just a little skeptical about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know the Cardinals fans out here are very excited for it, and I think it is pretty exciting to have him come here, but I'm kind of thinking that was a cash grab on his part. Like that was probably the highest offer. Completely agree. The highest guaranteed money.
Right. And I completely agree because I looked into the exact same things that you literally just said. It was like you said you wanted to come to a contender, and we are not an immediate contender right now. And some of the teams that you had mentioned before, honestly, I thought it was going to Green Bay. Like I had mentioned it'd be kind of cool if he went to the Saints, the Steelers with his brother. But the more I started thinking about it, I was like, Green Bay just makes the most sense. I saw something that since like 2012, him and Chandler Jones are like 1 and 2 and like the most sacks, something like that. Which is pretty crazy. So, and that's with all the games that he's missed. So, man, when he's healthy, he's a monster. Dude's only 31. Yeah, his health. I mean,
if he has any injuries within this this is a 2-year contract, I feel like this was basically like his last payday, and I think that's part of it.
Me too. I think he's trying to get paid out a little bit. Like I think he's at this point in his career, like, man, if I don't get a Super Bowl, whatever, I wish I get the much money as I can before I retire because he's had the injuries and the bad ones too, neck and back type stuff. So that's serious as a linebacker. Like I said, he's only 31 years old, so it's kind of crazy. It seems like he's older than that, but he's still pretty young.
Anthony Weston makes a good point here too. He probably came to the most competitive division too because, I mean, between the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, that NFC West is very strong. So, yeah, it's weird, but I don't know. I always say this too. I'm definitely not a doctor or anything like that, but those guys like Gronk, like JJ Watt and stuff that were like smaller in college, you know what I'm saying? And they switched position and like all of a sudden they just broke on and they got in with their macros and stuff. Yeah. It's like those guys tend to seem to have a lot of injuries like that because your body's just not meant for that. Exactly. It's not meant for that type of weight or strength or whatever. So we'll see how it works out. But I'm sure they're selling a lot of jerseys as we speak. So shout out to the Cardinals media department for that too.
For sure. My second pick for them was for the Rams. But I was like, they can't afford him. But I was like, dude, like honestly, right now the Rams are my sleeper for next year. Like as it stands right now, they're my sleeper for next year.
I'm sure Moms loves to hear that for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely my sleeper for next year, man. I don't know. I love Matt Stafford. I've always loved Matt Stafford. I think he's I don't know how, but gone under the radar. Yeah, dude. Gone under the radar for so many years. But like that dude He's got a cannon for an arm. He's very accurate, and he hasn't had a very good receiver since Megatron Calvin Johnson. So he's got some receivers to throw. He's got a good running game right now. One of the best defense, if not the best defense in the league right now.
And
I
McVay
know,
is just
dude.
successful. Like he is, like you can look at their records, and even when we forgot about them, like he's been solid every year, even when they had bad years. So
exactly. So that's the thing, man. McVay is going to be able to do so much with Stafford. I feel like this is going to be one of Stafford's best years because he is a guy who you can count on going for 4,500 in a season.
Yeah, right.
And you put him with that offensive mind. Oh, it's going to be crazy, dude. Saying fantasy players, grab your Rams players, man. Saying grab them early, dog. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool to see.
Yep.
Anthony Weston asks, where would you rank AZ in the division?
Third.
I would say you would say third ahead of San Francisco.
Yeah,
I would say
unless San Francisco makes like some adjustments offensively, because I still think that's where they struggle the most. But I do think that San Francisco is definitely well better coached. And they did have a lot of injuries last year. Actually, you're right. You're right. Actually, I put them fourth. I forgot about all the injuries, dog. I'm putting them fourth too.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah, I would have to put them fourth. I mean, they're still. This is almost a make it or break it year, right? This is year 3 for Cliff Kingsbury and for Kyler.
Kyler Murray. Yeah.
I feel like this will be a really telling year for what happens with them because they did add Hopkins. Now they added a piece on defense. Defense has already been solid anyway, so. We'll see what happens. That is a very competitive division, though. But if I had to say right now, I'd say fourth.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about all the injuries to the defense and the offensive side last year, and they're still way better coached. And honestly, one of my gripes about Kingsbury is he doesn't learn much. It seems like he constantly makes the same mistakes as a coach over and over. Exactly, man, over and over again. So I'm with you. This is year 3. This is that telling year, and I feel like Kyler got a little figured out last year too. So if they can't get over those bumps in this junior year for both of them, like we might see a new coach in year 4, and who knows, man? Who knows? Kyler was already talked about in trade talks. You know what I mean? Trade rumors, I should say.
Well, and I just hope he's all the way healthy too, because I feel like they were kind of suspect about that. His shoulder, something was wrong. They said he's healthy, then they put the Theragun on him like every time they can. So I don't know. We'll see. Yep. But last thing for NFL talk, though, I do want to say rest in peace to Irv Cross. Yeah. He was the first black man to work full-time as a sports analyst. He joined CBS Sports in 1975. He passed away this weekend. Definitely shout out to him as one of those, kind of one of those trailblazers, kind of one of those people that breaks ground that didn't really get talked about too much.
For sure.
So, for sure. And then last thing, too, the draft comes April 29th. Still a long ways till that. So, we'll just be in the offseason, kind of having these little silly stories until something breaks with the quarterback carousel, of course, too. So.
For sure. March 9th, man. It's literally next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, for the trade. Yeah, exactly. That's right. So we'll know, or the franchise tag deadline. So we'll know what's going to happen there. So that's what's up. All right, let's keep it moving, though.
Yes, sir.
All right, NBA talk. Now, of course, we're in the midst of the season. All-Star break is coming up next week. So we will see. I think it's the end of next weekend, I should say. So we're in the midst of it. It's kind of hard to talk basketball because it's like there's games every other night or whatever. We're not on here doing like scores, results, and stuff. So just want to hit some of the highlights. The Hawks did fire their coach. And Nate McMillan was the assistant coach. He stepped in. He's got a lot of experience. Definitely. But I thought it was cool. I guess he conferred with Coach Pierce before he took the interim job because he was like kind of loyal and was like, yo, do you really, he was not really happy about the firing. Yeah. But I guess Pierce gave him the blessing and was like, no, I want you to, stay with the squad and stuff. So McMillan's going to step in. And it'll be interesting to see how they do because the Hawks have had a lot of injuries this year. I really don't think that the firing was like totally fair.
Me neither. I think a lot of players felt the same way.
Yeah, and I think that's why McMillan was like, but I feel like McMillan might help them and, guide them. And I don't know. They did have a lot of expectations for this year, but I mean, it's like with everything that's going on.
Right. Like you said, they have had a lot of injuries, but they're also still a really young team. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be talented, but it's another thing to be able to put it all together. You know what I mean? And Trey's having – it's hard to say a breakout year because he's progressing every year, and I feel like he's still not talked about enough. Like the dude can definitely put the ball in the basket. You know what I mean? So, shoot it from 35 feet.
Right.
Some of the best ball handling in the league as year 3. You know what I mean? So, it's a matter of having the talent, but also putting it together. And so I think Nate McMillan might actually be able to help do that for them because, like you said, he is a veteran coach. He's been a head coach before, and
a long time, yeah,
exactly. And he's coached some pretty big names too. So who knows, man? They might be able to change some stuff around.
Yeah, I think they might. And Anthony Weston makes some good points. Like their record isn't that bad. They throw a bunch of new guys in there with no training camp. And then maybe they realize, though, that they should have just went with a more veteran coach. And they're like, we got this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see how that develops, though.
Dude, they can get to the playoffs so easily. Miami went from 10th to 5 in 2 games.
Quick, yeah.
And you know what I mean? And we're finally healthy, thankfully, you know what I mean? Because I knew that's all was going to matter. So that's why I wasn't really tripping about our team. Now that we're healthy, we're winning. I think we're on a 6 or 7 game win streak right now.
Beat the Jazz.
We beat the Jazz. Yeah. So we're looking good finally. But like I said, dude, from literally, I think we're a half game out of 4th place right now. So from 4th to 8th, dude, and like I said, New York's 4th. How long are they gonna hold on to that? You know what I mean? So
the East is a mess right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a mess. Boston is hanging on to the playoff spot right now. They're struggling too. So it's crazy, man. It's pretty insane.
But the second half of the schedule was released, and I think that we'll see. Now that second half of the schedule's out, we'll see how it plays out. But it'll be an interesting race down the stretch. Speaking of the second half, they did announce the times for the Suns, Lakers. Lakers are coming here. I think it's March 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Man, SeatGeek tripping, Ticketmaster tripping, StubHub tripping. So I might not be in the building, man.
Dude,
I never really miss when the Lakers come here. You know what I'm saying? Every game since probably I don't know, those 2014 playoff runs and stuff where they were playing here. I go to every one, but I'm you know what? I don't know if it's shifting priorities. I'm getting old or whatever, but I'm I can't keep up and be wasting money like that. It's insane.
For sure.
We'll
man.
We'll see. But they are playing tonight, though, too, the Suns at the Lakers tonight. And I'm wondering, do you think that could be a playoff preview? Do you think the Suns are going to make a real push?
I think they are. I can't see. Last year when they started off hot and kind of dwindled off, you know what I mean? I feel like teams found them out a little bit. Like I always said, they didn't have that point guard presence. Ricky Rubio was literally in and out for the entire year. You know what I mean?
Even though he could have kind of been that guy, but yeah,
right. You know what I mean? From a point guard standpoint, I've been saying for years they need a point guard. Devin Booker's just not a point guard. That's not his role. You know what I mean? That's not his game. So I kept thinking with Ricky Rubio constantly out, quit a couple games, injured again. It just didn't really work for him that well. And then they played so well in the bubble, but barely missed it by a game. And I feel with Chris Paul here, as long as Chris Paul stays healthy, I think they're in the playoffs to stay. I honestly don't see them falling farther than the 5th seed. I think they stay in 4th or 5th. And I think it's going to swap. I think no matter who they play, I think they're going to play the Blazers. I think they're in the play. Yeah, exactly. So if Suns fall, I think they fall to 5th, and Blazers pull into 4th place or whatever. Because I keep saying Dame's balling out right now, and he's doing it without CJ. CJ hasn't been playing at all. So. He's averaging 8 assists a game, 29.8, almost 30 points, and he's hooping, man. So he's doing everything he can.
He might get tired though. He always gets tired.
Well, yeah, but the thing is crazy. He's progresses. So I feel and the thing too is Melo's helping. Melo's been doing a great job at really.
This is a good transition to our next topic too.
But. Right. But yeah, man, Carmelo Anthony's been hooping since CJ has gone out. So I think if Carmelo can help him out, because Dame, he's been getting some rest. So I think it was who they played a couple nights ago. They played somebody a couple nights. I can't remember who it was. He was sitting for so long, I thought he got hurt. And then he came back.
Why are they bringing him back in?
Yeah, for real. It might have been the Hornets actually. It might have been the Hornets game. No, it wasn't Hornets. The Hornets was last night. It was somebody else. But either way, he was gone for so long, I thought he got injured. Then he came back in and finished the game just fine. But yeah, man, I think they play the Warriors.
You think they're for real this time?
The thing is, it's hard for me to say that they're for real. I think they're always going to be good. I think Dame does that for them. The problem is, I just feel not necessarily the Jazz. I just feel until either Dame gets another all-star, superstar caliber character or player, he's just not going to get past LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be kind of difficult to get past the Clippers because, they still have Kawhi and PG. PG's playing, having a really good year this year too. Like, I just feel like Dame needs a little bit of extra help. And CJ is great, dude. They're a great 1-2 punch. But there's a lot of times where even CJ kind of has a really bad shooting night and Dame has to do too much. So, are they a good team? Absolutely. Are they a great team? No. So I don't know. You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. Like you know how I feel about Dame, man. He's super clutch, great scorer.
They did
great player,
right? But yeah, maybe just not quite enough.
Yeah, he can't get that team there just yet.
Got you. But they did beat the Hornets last night. Yeah. We were going to talk about that though. Anthony Weston's excited for his guy Melo Ball. Yeah, it was a great showing, and it was a great matchup. We had Carmelo, the original Melo. Yep. He had 29 points, 3 boards, 5 steals, something like that, 2 assists. But LaMelo had 30 points, and 8 assists, I think it was. So he was doing his thing, and they had their little jersey swap. That's what's up. Mm-hmm. But I just do think that, I think it's like, I know you don't like how ESPN and then they kind of hype up LaMelo a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like the hype train, but I think it's like, I think rookie of the year is pretty much sewed up for him.
Oh, dude, it's locked.
Playing like this, like,
don't get me wrong, dude. I love the kid, man. I'm on it. He's the best ball brother. You know what I mean? Already, like, I know.
But LeVar told us that since he was born.
For sure, dude. For sure. The kid, right? The prodigy child. You know what I mean? But. And don't get me wrong, dude. I've always said the kid was good. It's just for me, it was just the social media was like, it's a pass, and it's on literally every single thing. It's like, come on, guys, like, it was just a little too much social media wise. And honestly, they did the same thing to Zion last year. You know what I mean?
True.
Zion, he could be in Subway in a sub, and he's on every single sports page known to man. But I mean, the kid is hooping. I love how he came off the bench and has grown as a starter. You know what I mean? So I love that he basically like, I'm here to ball. And I feel like this team is already his. You know what I mean? Like,
they're getting behind him. They're like, all right.
For real. They're really getting behind him. The team is really behind him. The dude's hustling. He's making the plays that a lot of, you expect a rookie to make. But it's like you expect a rookie to make, but almost wouldn't expect your superstar to make. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants LeBron James jumping into the stands to save a an already out of bounds ball. Whereas he's probably your future, and you still don't want to make those plays, but he's going to do it anyway because he's 19 years old. You know what I mean? Right. So, but the kid is hooping, dude. He looks great. He's finally finding his stroke. He's getting behind his 3-point shot a little bit better. He struggled a little bit that at the beginning, but I'm with you. I think it's locked up. But it's kind of crazy because I think Anthony Edwards is also flying under the radar because his team is so bad. But dude, dope, though. He's putting up 23, 28. He had a 30-point game I think last week too. Like, the dude is also hooping. He's still coming off the bench, and the Timberwolves are horrible. So doesn't really help him.
I know I agree with you on that one, and I'm Georgia, so I'm supporting him. I've been watching him, but it is funny. And though, if you watch his interviews, he is hilarious.
Dude, he's a character. He's a character.
So that, I mean, I like that. I think he's a funnier dude, like, than LaMelo, kind of, maybe.
100%.
But I think it's both really good rookies, for sure. But LaMelo's going to take that. So
yeah, it does. Especially if Edwards can't crack the starting lineup, I think it's going to be LaMelo all year. But it's kind of crazy too because, like, I do pay attention to both of them. I've been watching both of them, especially Edwards, because I think Edwards is flying under the radar right now because LaMelo is playing so well. But dude, you watch this kid's game, man. He's already running up, pulling up, faking the shot and jumping, bamming on dudes. Like, I think he's got a career in this league, man. Yeah, he's got a career in this league for sure. I think he's not getting talked about enough, honestly. But again, because his team is playing like crap.
Team is terrible. Team is a
so bad.
Poor market anyway. So
for sure.
Smaller market anyway. So
yeah.
But that's what's up, though. I think that's. Oh, I did actually have something else. This thing called Top. Have you heard of Top Shot? About the NBA? Okay. So shout out to my cousin Jeffrey. He put me on this. He's a youngster, so you know what I'm saying. He's more with the ends. You know what I'm
You
saying.
know what I'm saying?
This thing, Top Shot, is this new thing. It's digital playing cards, basically. It's like almost like it's like highlights, and they're like these digital playing cards, and you buy them. When you buy it, it puts it in your library, and you have access to it. So it's almost like a Bitcoin too, where they're just like creating these things
Yeah.
and then they're just selling them. But you can go on this Top Shot, and when they release their packs, you can buy a pack of cards or highlights for like, I don't know, $5 or something like that, or $10 when they come out, and then they have different limited amount of how many people get which one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can sell them on this marketplace. So he's trying to tell me and explain this to me. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure it out. I look on this marketplace, dude. They're selling highlights for like several $1,000s. Like, and
Damn.
it'll be like Kyrie Irving steal against the Pacers on whatever date. And it's like $7,000. Like, there's a Zion dunk on there that was like $15,000. And I'm like, I'm like, I can't get my head really around it, but I guess this is the way of the future. He's trying to tell me like playing cards, like people pay for this playing card, and
Yeah.
yeah, you could put a picture on a little piece of cardboard, but it's that playing card. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you can watch these highlights like on YouTube or anywhere, right? And he's like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, but you could do the same. So I'm just like, man, it's kind of crazy. But he was like, yo, you might want to put some money in here as an investment and see what's going on. So I'm looking into it, but then I'm like, already, I guess the packs are like selling out real quick, and I don't know when they come out and stuff. So, anyways,
You might have
I
to take a
wanted
look
to
into
throw
that.
that. Yeah, I wanted to throw that out for you and for all the slackers, and see if any of our slackers have heard of that stuff. Top Shot, and apparently it's the new wave, and it's just crazy because it's like, I mean, we already know like something is worth what someone's willing to pay for it, but it's like
Yeah.
that's just creating value out of nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you
And
said, footage that's already out there.
like it's kind of crazy, but I mean, it's like I don't know. You might see me with some in my portfolio one day. I might have a little Top Shot account, but for now, I'm not paying anything crazy like that. I would never, like I don't get
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, I'd be willing to buy like a pack of 3 highlights for $5 or something to see if I get something, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, but
I'm with you.
we'll
But I
see.
sell it though.
Right, exactly. I'm like, okay. I'm like, but if I could roll the dice and buy a little highlight and end up getting a LeBron dunk or like that Anthony Edwards dunk from last couple weeks
I
ago,
know.
I don't know what that would be selling for. So yeah, Anthony hasn't heard of that either. I don't know. It's weird. So
We might be too old, dog.
that's what I'm
We
saying. Cause
might
I'm
be
like,
too old.
I know, but my cousin put me on, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's closer to the, what I'm saying? He's closer to the in crowd or whatever you want to call it, closer to
Close to
what's
the
going on.
underground, you
So
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Damn.
I'm like, whoa. So check into that. You know what I'm saying? I've been checking into it. I'm like, it's crazy, but I'm interested to see if this is something that sticks around. You know what I'm saying? This might be the new thing, or this is something that's just fly by night and ends up going away.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. So that's all I had though for NBA talk. I think we'll go ahead and move on. Crazy world.
For real.
So what's next again?
Other sports?
Oh yeah, other sports. Okay, so not football.
Yeah, not basketball. We did that already.
Oh, okay, like hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, like hockey. Hockey, feel
Okay,
me?
like baseball. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir. Like soccer, right?
There we go.
Like soccer.
Like other sports.
All right, other sports talk. So, we do our other sports thing, but there's not too much crazy stuff going on for other sports right now.
Especially lately, yeah.
MLB though did start last weekend. Spring training did start. It was exciting to see some footage, see the guys back out there. People are trying to, stick with their COVID protocols and everything.
Yeah.
One other thing from the MLB, they are bringing back in dugout video. So they're going to have like iPads that the players can look at their at bats and stuff while they're in the game, live footage. It's something that they had before in the past. They kind of took it away amidst all this Astro stuff and everything like that.
Yeah.
And they're bringing it back this time, but apparently there's a way that they're like blurring out the catcher signals and things like that, so they can't try to steal signs, but they can just look and see like, okay, what's the trajectory of the ball, like when it's crossing the plate, things like that. So
Yeah.
So we'll see if that makes any difference. But I guess a lot of hitters were like, this is going to be big for us. This is going to make a big difference. So we'll see if that plays out through the
We'll
season.
see.
If there's more offense or not, I kind of doubt it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like, hey, let them. You know, that's the new thing, right? Like on football, you know, everybody got their little Microsoft Surface. They got their little blue pads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you might as well. You don't really need to be doing printouts and silly stuff like that.
Right.
So
And I'm kind of happy about it too because baseball is probably one of the bigger organizations that don't really play with new rules very often. You know
right.
what I mean? Or just do anything, honestly.
New
Like,
technology, new,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So over the last couple of years, they've been trying different things out. So kudos to them for trying to stay with the times. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you gotta keep it pushing, man.
right. You
Our
got
attention
to.
spans aren't getting any, getting any longer. You know what I mean? So keep it exciting.
I saw this one quote, and I'm gonna ruin it. I shouldn't even try to do it, but it was like basically like the more you're sticking in the past, like the faster you're getting left behind. Basically,
Right.
like if
Basically.
you're not willing to change, like as things change, like then you're
Yep.
just gonna be like you got to just either be okay with that or you got to change. Like
Yeah.
things are
Yeah.
gonna change,
You really don't have much of a choice. You
right?
really don't.
So, so that's what baseball's trying to do. We'll see how that works out. Golf, the golfers wore red on Sunday to kind of honor Tiger. You know, Tiger's going through his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice. Still, still just a troubling thing. They say he might have fallen asleep actually.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, but I'm glad that he made it through. And we'll see if he, comes back on the tour one day again. That'll be
Yeah.
interesting. He, of all people, has made some comebacks and gone through some things. So we'll see. Arsenal, they won a big game on Thursday in the Europa League to move on. It was dope. They were down, man. It was close, and they had to come back and win 3-2. So I was so excited for that. And then they also played on Sunday, and they were down 1-0. They let in a goal like in the first 5 minutes, and then they ended up coming back and winning 3-1. So they're looking good. They're rounding into shape. So that's exciting. Yeah, but it's cool. But I have to say, I was on the East Coast for both those games. Man, on the East Coast, the game started at 7 a.m. I got to watch it before I went out and enjoyed my day. Like, and I was thinking, man, like back home, it would have been 5 a.m. Like I have to usually wake up early for these games and stuff. So that was cool. That made it a little bit easier. But the other thing though, being on the East Coast is like it sucks for the West Coast Lakers games and stuff. I stay out late watching the Lakers games. I'm like, man, the game starts at what time? The game doesn't start till 10. So it has its drawbacks and stuff, but it definitely was better for the soccer. Oh, Stephanie Washington checking in. What's good? What's good?
What up?
With the Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. But yeah, so the Arsenal though, I'm hoping that they are getting back together. Now, this is something that I actually saw from our friends Girl Chat Sports. That Stephanie just reminded me kind of it. Did you see the chick Montgomery for the Dream? This
yeah, I saw that.
I gotta look up her first name. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be like the chick, but she's the first former WNBA player to have an ownership stake in the team. She's gonna owns a piece of the Atlanta Dream. I think it's like a 3-person investment group.
Yeah,
and she has a role with the team. So definitely breaking ground. Let me look up her name real quick.
Yeah, man. That's definitely huge, man. That's big time. You see a lot of
Renee Montgomery.
Yeah,
Renee Montgomery. Shout out to her for sure.
Yeah, you see so many NBA players in general who constantly talk about wanting to get more involved in the WNBA stuff like that. But seeing an actual woman do it herself is phenomenal, man. It's groundbreaking. So shout out to Renee. That's big. That's huge.
Yeah, and I still need one of those sweaters, man. We still need to get those orange hoodies.
Oh yeah,
the WNBA hoodies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll see if they got one in my size. But shout out to that, and we'll see. I do like to support the WNBA, and man, I hope we get to go back to some Mercury games, man. Those are always fun. When we went to the Mercury games, it was always a good time.
Absolutely, dude. The crowd is so much different than like a Suns
way
game.
more intense, like way more fun. Like
big time.
So shout out to that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had for other sports. Hockey's going pretty well. I don't know if I talked about it last week or not, but we talked about the Avalanche. They played an outdoor game at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
Last weekend, and the freaking ice, ended up being too hot. The ice was starting to melt and deteriorate. So they only played the first period, then they had to come back and play the rest of the game after at nighttime, like after dark. So shout out to the NHL for trying to do something new, even though it didn't really work out. You know what I'm saying? But The NHL, I like that they do the outdoor games, but they weren't anticipating the sun that day.
For real.
Oh yeah, Anthony West says most fun games ever. The Mercury, yeah, definitely.
They get loud.
So, but yeah, that's all we pretty much have for other sports. Now we'll go ahead and run Myra's segment, even though she's not here. We don't get to see her pretty face and get her this and that, but we'll have to come up with our own little this or that right now. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have this or that right here.
Oh, my bad, man. What can you say?
I know what I'm saying. I was like, I don't have necessarily this or that, but I did have a question.
Oh yeah, okay.
So the Warriors, man, they're sitting in the eighth seed right now, and the Mavericks are right on their tail, sitting at 9. I was gonna say with Mavericks kind of playing well, they're starting to play a lot better, and Warriors have been kind of struggling. Do you think the Warriors hold on to that 8th spot? Or do you see them kind of dwindling off and not making it to the playoffs again this year?
I think they both make it in, actually.
Oh, do you? Who do you think falls out?
The Kings are up in there, right? They're like 6th or 7th right now.
Oh, the Kings are like 10th.
Or they're down? Okay,
yeah,
wait. Who's the other team?
Let me double check. Let me double check.
While you pick that up, yeah, give me the West Coast rundown real quick. But
okay,
I want to do this one real quick. Stephanie Washington, though, she did say the Vegas Knights had their first fans in the audience last night, and she hit us with the K on the night too. That's what's up, though. I didn't know that they started out because the Vegas Knights were actually here playing some games at the arena here in Glendale for a little while, but I knew they had gone back. So I'm glad that they let the people back in, and it's a sign of progress, I guess. We should maybe see an Avalanche game there. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So here we go. So 1 through 8, essentially: Utah, Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Trailblazers. San Antonio is 6. And then the Nuggets are 7. Golden State is 8, but they're only a game ahead of Dallas right now.
Oh dang! Maybe it was the Spurs I was thinking of.
Because they weren't very good last year. They were sitting at like 9 or 10 last year, so they're playing a lot better this year. So,
that's tough, man. See, this is why the West is so dope.
I know, dude, it's crazy.
Because I don't know though. Because the Warriors are struggling, but when I look at the Warriors, I'm like, they still got squad. Like, I think Kelly Oubre is dope. I think obviously his 3-point shooting wasn't so whatever, but that's not what he does anyways,
Right.
So I'm like, I was kind of like upset when they were like down on him for that, because I'm like, he's never been
like he's never been a 3-point shooter really anyway.
Right.
He hits wide open ones like Sean Marion.
Exactly. And then they got Wiseman. He's dope, man.
Wiseman is good.
When I watch him, I'm like, this dude is coming up. And
I hate to say it, but I almost hate him being on the Warriors because they don't really utilize their bigs like that. Because I think Kid could be really, really good, man. Like,
that's true. No, that's a good point. But I think they will have to utilize him if they want to make this stretch.
They're gonna have to.
And then they got Kent Bazemore coming off the bench. That dude is kind of like a low-key stud still. Like, I think they have like pieces, and Draymond Green's still smart and helps facilitate things. So
I think without Draymond, I think the ball movement almost stops.
Right.
Because as much as awesome as Steph Curry is, when the ball's in his hands, he's looking to score. You know what I mean?
The thing is, it takes the pressure off of him to not have to worry about that. Draymond can be shouting and telling everybody what because where they need to be at. That's not Steph's natural role. So I do feel like he does still play that piece.
He does. He plays a bigger role in that offense than we all think. It's not has nothing to do with scoring. Nothing. Right. You know what I mean? It's all about rebounds, assisting, being the voice for that team. Because that's not who Steph is. So,
no, sorry. I was just thinking though they'll both get in. They'll have the play-in, right?
Oh yeah.
Aren't they doing the play-in?
You're right. They are doing the play-in. You're right. So
that's going to be fun. I mean,
they'll still have a chance.
Right. Now, a lot can happen. We still have the second half of the season to go. After the All-Star break.
For sure.
So this could be, it could be totally different teams in there, but the West will be an interesting race down the stretch to see what happens with that, because in a play-in, in a little mini playoff or whatever tournament, the Warriors have the veteran pieces. They have good players, so we'll see. Grace,
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that Porzingis is going to be on Dallas for much longer if he makes the trade deadline. You know what I mean? So they might actually move him and get another big name. You know what I mean? Because they're either going to get picks or a bigger name for him, one of the two, if they trade him.
We'll see what happens with that. But Grace checking in real quick. Hello, late check-in. We appreciate you.
Happy belated birthday to you as well.
Yes, yes. Happy belated birthday to you, Grace. Thank you for being with us on the Slack show, the big show. Yeah, so this was another thing I did want to talk about this actually. Well,
Me
it
too.
makes my heart sad a little bit. So Anthony Weston says, here's some other sports news. What's going on with the Nike exec kid hoarding shoes? So yeah, so um this is so crazy. So the Nike like GM, like head executive,
Like
VP type
vice
lady, right?
president, like vice
Yeah,
president of
vice
the Northern
president.
something.
Her son ran a reselling business and was called West Coast something, West Coast resellers or something,
Yeah,
and West Coast shoes. And there's pictures of him all over the internet of with like, I'm talking like 500 pairs of Jordans, like 1,000 pairs of Jordans. Like, I mean, he was getting the back door for real. Like, he was getting everything. And they come to find out that he was paying for some of it, purchasing some of it with his mother's credit card.
yeah,
Now, she tried to claim innocence. And I guess in 2018, she had went to Nike and said, hey, by the way, somebody in my family, like, runs a business like this, and tried to basically say there was no whatever you call that,
right. Conflict of interest or
collusion or
something like
conflict of
that.
interest, yeah, or no, nothing like unwarranted like going on, but clearly he was having access to sneakers that should have been going to the general public, should have been going to the sneakerheads, should have been going on the sneakers app. If anybody out there has ever tried to buy a pair of shoes on the sneakers app, you know that the stuff goes away instantly, like within a snap of a finger. It's saying it's sold out in your size, it's sold out in your
Yeah,
size. And then this kid is sitting there with thousands of pairs of Jordans. Like, literally probably why I couldn't get the Kobe's. Like
yeah,
like it's crazy. And I want to see like what comes out about this. But basically, like 3 weeks ago, the Bloomberg press, or whatever, Bloomberg did an article about this kid, like, and how cool he was as a reseller, and basically how he was using bots and using like inside access to certain sites to be able to purchase basically like hundreds of $1,000s worth of shoes and then turn around and resell them for, hundreds of $1,000s plus whatever more.
mm-hmm.
And it was after that article came out that they basically somehow tied the kid in the article back to this lady who's a VP at Nike. She has since resigned. Nike came out with a statement basically just saying like, oh, we appreciate everything she did with her, with us while she was with the company. But I'm like, no, like, I'm a little bit upset. And Stephanie Washington says, cold world, it is. And the thing that's really crazy about it to me is that, being a former Nike employee, they were so strict about can never sell shoes. You should never be giving your discount to other people.
Right.
They were, and at the lowest levels of retail and stuff, they're like, you'll lose your job, you'll this, you're that. And for this lady to be a VP and to act like she did not know her son was buying hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shoes on her credit card,
Yeah,
and he was having access to warehouses full of shoes, it's insane to me that would go on. And it's like, I want Nike to come out, like, they got to come out for us sneakerheads and be like, we are sorry, or we're going to do something to fix it, or this is how we're not going to let this happen again. But like, at this point, it looks like it's like they almost like turn a blind eye to it when they're saying like, oh, we respect everything she did with this company. They should be like, no, like, this is like, I don't know. It's crazy, man.
Especially because like with her resigning and them coming out and saying what she's saying, they essentially, told her like, look, we're not going to fire you, but we want you to resign. You know what I mean? That's what it said. So even more so kind of turning that blind eye, allowing her to apply to, she could apply for an Adidas job, saying tomorrow, honestly, she probably want to, because it looks like she resigned. She wasn't fired. Right. Nike might even just mess around and just give her a good, be a good reference for her for all we know. So like,
well, I don't think there's enough references in the world though at this point. Like, it's if she wants to, because her name's out there and everything like that. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing though. I just feel like, and I don't want to act crazy or whatever, but it's like, they need to like do something like to publicly like punish her or to punish him. Like, honestly, like, I think I want to see, I need to like read way more into this and stuff, and I'm interested to see as things come out, because this just started coming out like pretty much like yesterday or the day
Yeah,
before, maybe.
I think it was yesterday. That's when I tagged you.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, and I feel like just keep getting a little bit more information out of each time. I want to know what's really going to happen with this, because I feel like Nike has to do something to get like let us know, because for years it's been like, man, we can't get anything that we want. We can't. We're like, here, take my money. I'm asking you to take my money, and you I can't even get it because there's not enough. And then this kid's sitting out there with all these. And the worst part too, there was one story where, and I don't know if anybody's heard of the Nike Air Mags, but basically in Back to the Future 2, when Martin McFly goes to the future, he has the Nike Air Mags. They came out with these Nike Air Mags. These shoes are worth like, I don't know, like they'll probably sell for like $15,000, like $12,000. Like they're very expensive, like even used. And on this kid's Instagram, like his reseller thing, they went and they found, like, apparently last year in like 2019 or 2020, he apparently found 5 pairs in an abandoned storage unit. Like as if he was on that Storage Wars show, like just happened to accidentally find them, and he brought them out. Like, no, you didn't just find those. Like your mom's got those for you. Like that's so terrible.
Exactly.
Like, and then like, so they're bringing back all this stuff out of like all these things that he had put out and publicly posted like along the way as more evidence of like there's fraud here of some sort.
Mom knew she wasn't on it.
And I think that honestly, this could, I don't know if, I mean, this might be too much, but I feel like it could become like a class action lawsuit potentially of like, here's all the people that tried to get shoes, were denied shoes. Here's, you were presenting as this is a fair chance to buy X amount of shoes. And here's what was going on within your company and the behind closed doors.
For sure.
Because I'm not trying to be funny. I know that, there's far more serious matters out there, but that's mental anguish for people for real. Like that Nike sneakers app has ruined a lot of people's days and a lot of people's months. And even, I mean, I don't know. I know this probably sounds crazy, but it's like, they'll be like, oh, these are coming out in like November of next year. These coming out Black Friday of like, and they'll tell us like now, like people waiting for shoes for like 10 months, 12 months and knowing they have no chance to buy them at retail. And if they want to buy them, they're going to have to spend several $1,000s, even though the price tag is $180.
Exactly.
Like it's crazy.
Yep.
So, and my sister's right. Nobody's abandoning those. Like those are not just going to be, people would pay whatever they needed to pay on their storage. Like you did not just find those in an abandoned storage locker. Like no,
for real.
So
no, 5 pairs too. That's insane. That's crazy.
We'll monitor that and we'll see. But there's some public shaming going on, which I feel like is probably warranted. But for now I do want to know more about, like, I'm hoping there's like a more detail comes out about what's going on, because it's like I almost feel like they should be arrested. I mean, but it's I don't know if that's even a crime. It's not necessarily maybe a crime, but it's like you defrauded your company, you did something wrong. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but we'll see. But it's just not a good feeling, man. It just sucks. And Nike's my thing. Like I love what the brand stands for and everything like that, but I'm like, I need to know. I have to find out if they were like in on that too. I don't think they would be in on it, but
right. I don't think so.
But it's like, how did they not know? How did they not know?
Like, yeah, one person buying that much with a credit card from a employee, like, I don't know, that's crazy to me.
Oh gosh.
So I'm saying he used her company card. Yeah, that's crazy. Because even like when you look at the VP, of your company, like, okay, what's she doing buying that many, shoes with her card? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
It's bad. It's all bad. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we're gonna watch that one another. That's another one we'll give more updates on and see what happens with that. But it's like, man, that's not a good feeling. And I remember being nervous about like whatever, like, so many times they'll be like even have, for instance, you and I are going to the Nike store. I'm gonna use my employee discount. They would be like, oh, he can't pay, or he can't, give you money or whatever, things like that. Like, it's like they're so strict about it and so anti, like they were so like, hey, most people lose their jobs because they abuse their discount. And then you talk about the VP of your company, that's what they were doing. Like, It's just all bad. So we'll see.
I was just lucky enough we wore the same shoe size.
Hey, what I'm saying? Like, I think too, I've always been like a reasonable person, and I never like abused what I had. But at the same time, like
Never.
always like, you know, if you're in my family, then you have access to what I have access to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
And even
so
then, like when they did the whole like friends and family stuff, like you're always cool to like hand those cards out. Like
oh yeah,
I think we might have used I think we would have used your actual discount twice. You know, for me, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, yeah, I got you.
but like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like,
I mean, it's like that's the thing. It's like I was always reasonable about it. I was never overt about it. But one thing I'll tell you, I never did was
yeah,
bought my shoes at a discount and then turned around and sold them
for
for
sure,
over retail.
for
That's
sure.
what, you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
that's and that's something where it's like I always felt like as just like a you know, I would never be like, you know, because I knew people that would be like literally buy something with their discount and go home and put it on StockX that day or eBay or whatever that day.
yeah,
And I'm like, you know, I just don't even feel good about that, whether they're going to find out or not. It's like, that's not the right thing because that's not the intent of it.
for
Like, I
sure.
just want to, you know, have the products I like,
Yep.
but, and I don't want to fuel into the reselling market, but people like that, and it's that blatant, like, it's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but all right. That was a good this or that though. What about another this or that? Nike or Adidas? Does anybody pick Adidas?
I don't think so.
Right.
Those who are sponsored by it, I guess. So.
No, I was gonna see. I gotta. Let's see. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm gonna show this thing real quick. I'm gonna show my share my screen real quick, just so you slackers can get an idea of what we're talking about real quick before we check out. This will be our final say. Don't be like these people, okay? Don't be like this this dude. So here's I just put Nike reseller. So here's the kid in front of a wall of shoes. You see this kid?
It's insane.
I mean, you're talking about, and then on Instagram with all the clout, you know what I'm saying? So you can Google Nike reseller and you can find this kid in all his glory. It's just a shame.
That's
Ridiculous.
crazy, dude. Look at those open boxes, dude. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You're getting it. I mean,
it's nuts.
And these are some of the Air Mags that I just found them in a storage unit. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets like that. You know what I'm saying?
Unworn, still fresh in the body.
Look at that. I mean, come on, dude. No, you got storage lockers full. You're going to act like I didn't know my son was doing that.
For sure.
Crazy. He had the Grinch Kobe's in there. You seen them, huh, Anthony? The ones I wanted. Ones I was waiting for months and months and months. And I knew I wasn't going to get. We even talked about it on here. I was like, I know I'm not going to get them.
Bro.
Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that's like they got to punish them somehow. Like you can't just, I don't know. Anyways. So yeah, that's our final say. Don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't abuse your power to that level, especially like it's just too much. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It's beyond greed.
Seriously.
But yeah, that we'll talk about that if we find more information about that. Also, we'll be watching the franchise tag deadline, see what happens with Dak. We'll be watching Suns Lakers tonight, see if the Suns have some bragging rights or not. Lots of stuff to look forward to. Hopefully, we can get out to a spring training game soon. If not, maybe a hockey game.
I was actually going to say that. I think if we can't get to a spring training game, let's try to get into a hockey game. But I think either one of them, the tickets shouldn't be too crazy. They're going to be more expensive than what they normally are because, you can get a spring training game any other year for like $4. You know what I'm saying? Like, sitting in the field or something like that, or sitting in the grass area. But yeah, man, I think we can get out to it. I think we should be good.
Yeah. I mean, I think like if we go to like a Brewers game, that'd be dope too. Like
for sure.
Just not Dodgers, just not,
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, like Couch Friend. We gotta, we got the main man himself, Mickey Mouse, you know what I'm saying? He had me over to his place this week and he was a great host for me. So he got the shout out this week. So that can't forget that for the final say. Thanks, Mom, for the reminder on that one. So, but yeah, man. So lots of stuff to look forward to. And we love Miss Myra May. We love super producer Marcus.
Yep.
but we had to hold it down this time. You know what I'm saying? Our special guests can't always be with us, but much shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Much love for them. We'll be getting their opinions on all these things too when they come back with us. And yeah, I think that was Say Like a Champ, episode 79.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's your boy. You heard me. I almost said it's your boy Strizzy.
I know. It's all good. Oh shit. I mean, my bad.
Real quick. Talk about what you were going to talk about.
Yeah. Real quick. So shout out to literally everybody that nominated me for the 2021 Arizona Influencer Award. Obviously, I don't get on that panel without your guys' nominations because I did not nominate myself. So again, shout out to y'all. Really, really much appreciated. So with that being said, I did get on the panel officially yesterday. Voting goes from the 1st through March 15th. So 2 weeks for everybody to vote for your boy. And you can vote as many times as you like. There's nothing's going to stop you to say you voted this many times today. For me, I think it'd be super cool to win, but right now I'm just happy to get the exposure. So once again, my biggest thing coming out of this is I wanted to thank everybody from Slac fam to my social media fam, you guys all, who nominated me and continue to vote for me on a daily basis. So I want to apologize right now, though, because y'all going to get a lot of vote for me spam, on a daily basis, just to remind you to at least vote for me.
The campaign is up and running.
You know what I'm saying? To at least vote for me at least once a day, you know what I mean? So you're going to get the next 13 days of me.
You might have to design some stickers real quick. We'll send some stickers out or something. Show the screenshot.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So
campaign buttons.
For reals, dude. I gotta get my my fucking Mr. America hat and shit, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So just want to throw that out there. I thought that was really cool. There's it's kind of crazy. I think I'm the only comedy creator, content creator on there. Everybody else is all like
travel,
foodies and travel stuff like that. So a couple of them have actually already added me. Yeah, they've started following.
So you guys gonna link up like the Super Friends?
I don't know about all that. So I don't know about all that. But the people who are hosting the award, they've actually reached out to me and said that regardless of what happens after this, that they want to work with me on something. So I don't know if that necessarily is yet, but they've got a pretty decent following. So I think, like I said, like I'm in this for the exposure. And I'm not gonna lie, if I can low key beat out AZ Foodie, that's gonna make my year. So
what can you vote?
So how you guys can vote, the link is in my bio and my link tree on Instagram or TikTok, either one. So if you follow me on Instagram, just go to my bio. The link to vote is literally the first option when you click into my link tree. Or if Arizona Influencer, if you go to their page, you can get it there. But honestly, it's just a lot easier for you to get it from me since I'm sure the majority of people on here are already following me. So the link is inside my link tree within my bio. So I said, go there, vote for your boy many times as you can before you get tired.
I'm going to put it in here.
That's what's up. I appreciate that.
Gray says, vote for the helmet.
Absolutely.
I'll see. I tried to put it in there as a comment. We'll see if it's – I don't know if it'll be clickable or not. But you guys can try that too.
Yeah.
So.
And if anything, we can also put it in the description when we put the video up. So that'll work as well. Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to. It's like a long hyperlink. So we'll see if that worked or not. But that's what's up, man. I'm happy for you. I hope you win for sure.
Yeah,
Lil Ray was excited about the nomination too.
No fan, Lil Ray, no fan, Big Brother Twins, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Lil Ray's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's gonna be a great series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm having fun with it.
More stuff. Absolutely, that's what's up. So I love that. And we'll get the links out there. I'm not sure if the link worked in there or not, but we'll make sure everybody can get the link so we can vote for Strizzy. Absolutely. And you said the voting ends when? At the end of the month?
March 15th. So
March 15th.
2 week voting period. Yep.
Okay. All right. So we got you for sure. We'll get on that. That's a great final say. And we'll maybe even make a little Slack commercial for it too.
For sure.
So, all right then. Let me try this again. So that was, though, Say Like a Champ episode 79. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
And we out for Marcus. It's Taco Tuesday. Peace.
And you say the truth.